Previously on Submachine Legacy, our trust was betrayed. Or was it? Murtaugh and Elizabeth are dead. Or are they? And the submachine is about to crumble. Or is it? I welcome you to the finale. Hello guys, what is up? I am the F121 and welcome back to Flash Fridays, where I give you guys a blast from the past with games from the Flash. Today is the story finale to my playthrough of Submachine Legacy for the PC. Last time, we explored the temple, found out some deep dark secrets, and more of the lore of the submachine. Today, it's exit time as we hit chapter 10, the exit. So, if you're hyped for that, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for content if you are new, and ring that bell to notify any time on the channel. Last episode on the card. Of course, it wouldn't be a Submachine Legacy episode without a good friend of mine who has been with me throughout the entire series. Welcome back, Salemthecat.
Hello, good to be back.
With a better mic this time.
Yep.
Now, listen to this. This actually is a second recording of this. Similar to what I did with Submachine for the lab when I accidentally had the audio turned off, this actually has a deeper reason. Looking back at how I did Submachine 10 the exit as I scroll to the right, I realized that 2 hours of footage didn't really sit well with me, honestly. So I decided, with much more better knowledge of Submachine 10 the exit, I'm just gonna do one full take of this whole entire game and call it there. So with that said, this is a re-recording, which means I pretty much know most of the game, but the best part is I can actually show all 10 secrets in this game too. So that is going to be today's episode. The gist of Submachine 10 the exit is these light spears, which allow us to teleport, very similar to the portals that we saw in Submachine 7, the core, except, well, they're one way. Right here, though, we have that mechanism, which allows us to basically move that ladder we saw to different places. We wanted at number 3, though, as we saw. Right here, we have this thing. What's this? Please enter ship ID number. We don't have anything in possession yet, so I guess we'll leave that for later. Let's go up here to the ladder, because as you see, we have the hook that gives us the clue, and nothing but darkness. And a ship ID number. How convenient. Let's head back down to enter that in. Well, as I go through this and enter that ship ID number, Salem, have you actually managed to see Submachine 10 the exit? Well, besides the first recording that we did.
No, we had to pick up the game, but I really enjoyed the Submachine series.
In terms of like video, like stuff on YouTube, have you seen any footage of it?
Not really.
So this
I
is
haven't
like,
bothered to look at it right now.
So this is like your second
But
time
I've
playing this, watching this, sorry.
Yeah.
Right there, that bottle.
Matthias has been really the guy from Matthias. Yeah, Matthias has been really impressed by the reception. He was like, "Wow, guys, I'm really happy that you like this."
Indeed. Right there, that ball of fuse gave us the power to this ship, and right there we just picked up the hatch valve. That'll be important for in due time. Right here, we got some different places we can go to. What is this? Dock ladder standing by. So apparently that ladder is not in possession yet. Maybe answer something like that, I don't know. Insert captain's ID. We don't have the ID yet. Right here, we go to the lads. Hello, what's this? A ladder piston. Well, ladder, but not necessarily the same thing as you'll see later. Right here, we got that hatch valve that will allow us to scurry on further. Now, you might notice something throughout the game in terms of the text. I did revert back to the default color. Well, that's because, well, many months in advance after looking back at my footage, I realized that the dark colors didn't really sit well. So with this one, I decided to go back to the original color because it's easier to see. Right here, we have a hole here, and hello, we have a secret that is out of our reach. We'll know that for later. Now, Submachine 10 for me is probably one of those games that you really have to explore everywhere. It's one of those things where I dare say you probably need a notepad to note anything you see, otherwise you will get lost. I would just say that outright.
Yeah, you could say it's basically the culmination of all the Submachine games. It kind of incorporates elements from every Submachine game.
Quite literally, as you'll see in due time. Right here, this looks very familiar. It's very similar to the portal we saw in the Submachine 4, the lab, and Submachine 5, the route. However, no numbers, only buttons. A press button marks 1, an unpressed button marks 0. So, hitting any combination will allow us to go through. Now, 100 consists of some royal storage facilities. This is kind of where they store some stuff. But the weird thing about these storage facilities, they're mini loops. Notice with everything time I press a button, I'm going through a portal of some sort. Or I'm going to a random room. So yeah, that's kind of the gist. Also right here, this is where we need to get an item. But if you look at the top right, very faintly, there's a hidden micro-stabilizer next to this light. Very sneaky. All you needed to grab here, by the way, was the Karma Fuse and the Vector Finder. Although if we go back to that room that we saw with some slots, you will notice that to get into that Karma Fuse, we need 3 more of those though. So let's get out. Head for the left and... Caution, spatial anomaly leak ahead. Remember how I said that this place was full of loops? Don't worry, you're not gonna like infinitely go down. You will still go back after 2 clicks of the mouse. Or 2 presses of the keyboard, depending on how you're playing. Roy Source Unit number 33. Right here, we got some loop stabilizer around here. And another Karma Fuse. So we need 4 of those as well, apparently. Nothing else around here, you don't have to worry about anything else. There's only 2 items in that facility. Now this loop is actually special. Salem, remember how I said that the loop technically means that any time you click, you go to a random room?
Uh-huh.
This and one other storage facility is actually different. Whichever direction you click, it will lead you to the different room. For example, if you go up, we'll get access to this room. If I go down, it will always be this room. If I go right, you will get your second Karma Fuse, or your third Karma Fuse, technically. And if you go left, you might notice that we have this mechanism where a loop stabilizer indeed fits.
So we'll need 3 more of those.
Correct. We've got more storage units around here. Uh-oh, this looks important. We'll note that for later. And the puzzle with this particular location, as I realized I kind of messed up here. Hang on. There we go. You might notice I just collected this right here. That is a neodymium magnet on a string. That will allow us to reach very narrow places. I wonder what use we'll have for that. That location, by the way, is earned from the start of the loop, and then going right once and up twice. That will lead you to that item if you're wondering. However, what is random is finding this mechanism, which allows us to activate these switches in order. So right there, you saw that I hit switch number 1. Now I need to find switch number 2. Now, because this is a loop, it is going to be random rooms every time you click, except for that one room with the neodymium magnet. So, basically almost a game of luck, especially if you're speedrunning. So how did he escape after all? Through the lighthouse, naturally. How else? This is a very important hint of how we're going to escape later on. Right now, it's just a luck-based game trying to find switch number 2, as you see here. And then switch number 3, we need to go back here, hit number 3, and then we need to find number 3, which either could be very fast or very slow depending on your luck. Pretty silly, right, Salem?
Yeah. But you know, that's a game of chance.
Hence, we can dare say that speedruns of this game are never going to be perfect. Well, unless someone is extremely lucky, but I ain't that guy. I know my friends would probably be staring at me for me saying that, but I don't care. I still am going to stand by that statement. Right here, though, is a different kind of loop. Anytime you see these arrows, follow the arrows. To reveal yourself some hidden things you can find. Ah, last Karma Fuse. We're going to know that for later. And right there is our third loop stabilizer. We still need one more. But as you can see, we have another anomaly leak ahead, and you can see there's another loop. Pretty crazy though that that thing is looping on itself. Now we're not done with this location yet, because with the carbon fuses we've earned, we can finally load this up to grab ourselves the fourth and final loop stabilizer. And now we can head back to that royal storage facility right here and fill this up. That activates a portal. Now, you mentioned how Submachine 10EX is a combination of all the Submachine games, right?
Yep.
Well, welcome back to the loop.
Yep. Submachine 2.
3.
3. My bad.
We'll note this for later because we can't do anything here yet. Although, with that said, locate this room to find this particular mechanism. Now, this is where the map room will usually be located. You also might have noticed that this design right here looks very eerily similar to the mechanism we saw back in Submachine Find the Root, where there was a bolt, a loose bolt, that we had to use a screwdriver on. Well, in this case, no screwdriver needed. Click on it, and there's our second loop stabilizer, micro stabilizer, excuse me. Alright, as I said, I don't think there's anything else I can do here, so let's exit out. And we'll note that place for later. For now, that's all you can do in this room, so now let's go to 010 for our next stop. We have some sort of digging mine around here, full of range confirmators. Power all range confirmations before operating the hatch. Apparently, the hatch cannot be activated until we have all of these confirmators. Release both clamps before operating the drill. We have one clamp here, but we don't have anything to activate the other clamp. Until then. It's kind of interesting that they literally put it right next to us, so at least not as complicated. Hit the switch, and activate the drill. That will allow us to go down. Now remember how that earlier hint said to activate all the confirmators? Well, there's one. Here's another one. Head on to the right, and you can see that that door is open with some sort of lever. That other side didn't have a lever, so we need to find one, or a handle, I should say, an airlock handle, in order to do this. And right here, here's another range confirmator, but don't go right just yet. There's one more spot which reveals this symbol. What does the symbol mean? It will be well known later on. Right here up there, though, I can activate the third and final range confirmator. And with all range confirmators in their place, we can head back down to this to activate the hatch. Now we can exit out here back down where we saw that. Hello, another portal. Now, the earlier place 100 led us to Submachine 3 the loop. With this being the next location in the order, welcome back to the lab. And oh boy, looks like our portals have started to crumble the submachine in itself. Right here, collect this force field plasma canister. And as you see, we already have a light symbol else to get through. I found my grave today, a proper tomb in fact. Well, I guess it's bound to happen sooner or later if you're a time traveler. I've also found your tomb right next to mine. Oh, that's so sweet of them. Remember how I hinted possibly that Murtaugh and Elizabeth are dead? Oh no, they aren't. What we saw at the temple was the future? Is the submachine really just a symbol of the future?
You gotta love those hand-drawn drawings that Mateus put in here.
They are good. Now here I'm actually prematurely going to put this stand there for later, because that's all we can do in the lab. I did grab that ladder piston, which might have looked familiar if you have remembered a certain submachine game, but I will report on that later. Now let's go to 001 and we enter somewhere that's very similar to the temple, except it's red. Right here, the puzzle is this. Notice all these symbols that are around here. On the top right or top left. So right here we have 2 horizontal, 1 vertical. And they hit this sphinx. You can see we're teleported to the other side of the pyramid. And we have another symbol up here. Puzzle here is to notice all 4 symbols around here. Okay, I thought there'd be something up here. There isn't. And right here, I think you know where this is going. There we go. And that eye might look very familiar, because that's the same eye we saw back in Submachine 9, the temple, last episode. Now right there we got ourselves a cogwheel. We can insert that cogwheel right here. And that actually lowers the ladder down. Now don't worry, there's nothing on top where we got that cogwheel anymore after we got the cogwheel. But hello, you have another portal. So, if you're already getting the pattern of this, I think you can guess which Submachine game we're going to next. Welcome back to the root. Right here we got ourselves a light spear. And inside here, you want to check where you did put the cube to get ourselves one of the crystals back in the root. And find ourselves 1 cogwheel. I'm gonna note that for later. Huh. Was this here all along? Who knows? Here's another karma portal. And right here. Do you know how many numbers there are between 0 and 1? Infinite? Exactly. There's a countless number of sublayers between any 2 main layers of reality. The important thing to remember is that as there are 7 main layers all stable, as all their sublayers, there's also the 8th layer known as the layer of light. That was the layer that we were in back in 9 the temple before we teleported to here, which is not stable and can float freely through all other layers. Murtok was trapped in the 8th layer once. That's why he was unable to focus his being on a single layer. Fortunately, Elizabeth managed to snap him out of this trap. Salem, you could say that we exited the temple with that switch. We basically got out of a trap. Would you say that that light was Elizabeth's doing?
Probably.
Pretty creepy, eh? Now right here, you can't put anything inside here for now, but we're gonna note that for later. Now let's head back out. So remember, the light spears do allow us to teleport, which will be important for later. Now, nothing else we can do around here, so let's do some 2 combinations. We're in 110, and we're in some sort of laboratory, quote-unquote. Or at least the outside of the laboratory. We have many doors, and a place to place this. And whilst this does lead us to no man's land, that'll be important for later. Now let's just check every single door and every single note we can find. We're in a loop. Yes, I know, there are time anomaly leaks everywhere, but we're not in one right now, are we? No, not a horizontal loop. A vertical one. What do you mean? Look through my microscope, and then through my telescope. You'll see. I still don't really understand the idea behind this, but here's what the microscope looks like. And then through the telescope. Do you see any difference? Wait, actually, hang on. Oh. Maybe? Okay. I'm just noticing that you can see the grid lines here, Salem. Do you see them?
I see them, yeah.
I'm wondering if that's what it's hinting towards when they say, like, we're in, like, a horizontal. This horizontal, this is and this is a vertical loop. I wonder if that's what they mean. Right there, you might have noticed I just grabbed 2 items. That was a battery, a AAA battery, and another vector finder. That's, well, let's have another door, which is blocked by a chair. Funny thing enough, in the original Submachine 10, all these items will be blocking you instead. So you need to grab them one by one. Not in this version, though. They didn't want to trouble you with that. Here's another vector finder on the side. And another one of these machines. We saw one earlier back in 100 when we were in those loops. And I got stairs. Right here, nothing much. We see there's a ox skull, or is that an ox actually, Salem?
I think it's an ox.
That might look like it. And right here, not only could we play around with this thing that allows us to combine items together, but we also have another vector finder. Now, here is actually a tube of karma power, and with that switch, we actually not only put karma power on these platelets, we also combine them together. This is actually a huge hint of what's going to happen in this game. I'm going to ignore this door for later because that'll be important once I have all the vector finders. Hint, hint. Now let's head to 23011, sir, excuse me. And right here we have some sort of tube. We have this mechanism that allows us to, well, any red you see is basically a force field disabled. But a green one means that the force field is enabled. And apparently we can't do anything with this because we are blocked of these areas unless we block ourselves. But we can't do anything with that. However, I can come down here and showcase that not only is there listing a plasma charge here, but Shiva at shroot.ping, access denied. This is a Shiva program that is going on inside this capsule. Want to note that for later. Now, really, there's only one thing you could do there, and that was that plasma charge, but that will be important for how to handle that area. Now we're going to go back to 101, and if there's a countless number of sub-layers, it's practically impossible for two people to end up in the same layer, right? Yes, good observation. But non-living matter can be persistent between layers. Parts of buildings, anchors, even portal stabilizers? Yes, there are special building materials mixed with just a hint of karmic water. This technique was discovered during the 4th dynasty. Naturally, the architects of the plan. So you can imagine how a non-living sentient organism, powered by the superintelligence of Shiva, was able to embrace all layers at once. The submachine is now living in 5 dimensions. You know, it's funny because a personal story of mine is that in my Salver, we actually kind of joked with one of the previous leaders we had that he was kind of in like the 4th dimension. Now this game is saying, oh, we have a 5th dimension. Take that. It's kind of funny. Also right here, we have a thick vector finder. And right here, insufficient data. We open this hatch, and I think we know what they were talking about when we say insufficient data. We'll know that for later. Right there, that ladder piston we grabbed back at the start of the game, actually, allowed us to go through here. We have a second symbol that looks like an upside down reverted H. Weird. And another karma portal, which leads us to... Welcome back to the plan. Want to grab that coil that we saw. And right here, hello, a nice spot for a light spear. I guess we can now go right. Right here, we have 2 items to pick up. We have a second cogwheel and a insulator cap. That insulator cap is going to do wonders. I want to head back to the portal, and as you saw right there, there's only one combination we have left. All 3 buttons pressed, which is known as 111. Now we're in some sort of different tempo, very different to what we saw back at Submachine 9 last episode. We grab ourselves another ladder step, and really not much to see until you find this light crown and realize, oh no, you need another light spear. So we'll note that for later. Now, with all these items that we've grabbed, we can finally do some things, finally backtrack and do some other stuff. First off, I want to head back to 011. And to here, I can finally place the insulator cap here, and look at this. Now this mechanism is no longer registering this spot here. So now we can exit out and head over to the portal. And hello. Welcome back to the core. This place looks familiar, doesn't it? See that
yeah, definitely.
You can see that the karma portal up here has just disappeared for some reason. But what I do want to grab is firstly this stone grape, another skull right here. That teleport allows us to go see stuff. This is actually all we saw back in Submachine 7, sorry. And actually, I want to get back to this room because I'm pretty sure I missed something around here. Hang on. There it is. It's a very hidden telescope tube that was hidden amongst the darkness. To anyone who might still be looking for help on this frequency, I'm coming back to the shrine every 32 years. What? Right here, though. Insufficient data. Same thing we saw back in 101, sorry. And you can see right there that thing is closed. But what we can find is this telescope head. So we got a telescope head and a telescope tube. And right here we have an incomplete telescope. So let's look through it. Whoa, looks cool, eh? Now, those beams of light, this is just my theory, but those beams of light are actually representative of back when we did Submachine 8 the plan, and we activated the 7 layers.
That sounds reasonable.
Oh, by the way, there's a secret inside there. Sneaky, eh? Alright, that's all we can do for now in here. And I can't do anything to the right just yet. Instead, let me check my items. I instead want to head back to that lab area in 110. Because there was one door I purposely skipped, and it was this door. 3 vector finders, 5 missing. Well, it just so happens we have 5 vector finders, so... Welcome back to the edge. Here we got our 3rd symbol right here. And these hatches that were initially blocked can finally be opened. Weird. Head through here, and this place is full of stuff we can grab. I'll just say that right now. First off, we have this blockade removal tool. It's a weird specific name. There's another plasma charge. And right here, another one of these things. So we have 2 located in 110 and 1 located back in 100, not mistaken. So that was the loop area. Right here, we got that blockade removal tool. Again, very specific name to allow us to activate that. Because without it, we wouldn't have been able to turn this valve. Which, by the way, that valve looks very similar to the one we saw at the edge, right? Right here, we got ourselves another ladder rung. And we turn down here. To our left is a carbon valve. And to the right is this hatch valve. Now, that hatch valve will be important for our current area. So don't escape just yet. Now, for the troublesome part of exiting out the manual way by just turning this around, there's actually no valve down there we saw earlier, so we had to go out manually. And right here, we can use that hatch valve we saw to open this. And through here, this mechanism looks very similar to the one we saw earlier back in the tubes. We have 3 plasma charges to lower down the defense system. Speaking of that, notice how this is named as Shiva. And this switch is like as though we're turning off Shiva. Salem, do you remember where we saw Shiva?
I forget, but I remember seeing the name.
Well, let's head back out and head back to 011. We just turned off Shiva. In this case, the Shiva program. Watch this. Notice this thing is turned off. We can now go down the ladder to reveal an edge around here, which has nothing, and a cog wheel. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I now have everything I need to finish up 001, which was the pyramid area we saw earlier. Actually, technically not, I just realized. But what I can do is that I want to head back to 101 first. I want to go back to that portal, which led us back to the edge, because I do have the right materials to progress on further. Right here, that ladder rung is what the ladder rung we placed to allow us back access up and down. If we go down further, we see we have 3 empty spots for 3 ladder steps. Now we can head all the way down to reveal this. That actually looks cool. A root pathfinder. And to our right, not only a light spear, but this. Light crown converter needed to connect light crown to the fuse outlet. Remember how I said that that lighthouse note was a hint to how we're gonna escape? This is the second hint. I think you know where this is going.
Yep, now we'll head back to where we needed the light sphere.
Which in fact was in 111, I believe. Let's go down here, and through here we find ourselves a meditation glyph. Why meditation? I'm not sure, because out of meditation apparently comes chaos when it activates another portal. Welcome back to the temple. A very not so hidden microstabilizer right here. And to our left, whilst it might look like nothing on the side, want to head back up here up the stairs to the left, place our coil down here, and find ourselves a portal stabilizer. Now, I'll be honest, I always thought there was a note around here, but apparently I'm proven wrong by the looks of it. Yeah, looks like there's no note. Thought there was. And you see that tablet that was there last time that greeted us to here also is gone. Now, that's all we can do around here, but with the root pathfinder and the rest of the stuff I collected, there's a lot of stuff we can go do back in the temple. Firstly, I want to head down here and place our karma vial. That activates this thing, and by pressing each of these buttons, we can reveal some stuff. But the one thing I want to reveal is number 3. Because that gives us our second stone grate. Head back out here, we see I have this switch, which is very similar to the one we activated for the other ladder. By placing our 2 cogwheels and the big cogwheel, we can now lower down the ladder. But wait a second. There's no ladder. How do we get there? Well, remember the Sphinx that we saw that allows us to teleport? We can teleport to the other side and find ourselves our portal stabilizer battery. Cool, eh? But we're not done yet. Remember how this place was connected to the root? I want to head back to the root. And place that root pathfinder. The hint right away is the fact that it's called the root pathfinder, so you would go back to the root to see if you can place it here. And down here, we have a data tape. Back in 101 and the core back in 011, we saw 2 parts that said insufficient data. Well, it's time we fill in that data, shall we? I'm gonna head back to 101. Firstly, place the 2 stone grids that we found. That makes this ox skull. And hang on a second, pretty sure we mentioned about this ox skull before, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Right here, we can finally put in the data chip, or some sort. And I want to head back first to 011, which was this capsule. Because now that we have the sufficient data, we can head left back to the portal that leads us to the core. And grab ourselves our second portal stabilizer. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that is everything we can do, at least for now, in this place. So we can exit out here. Checking my items real quick. Yes. Next place I want to go back to is 110, which was where we saw that ox skull at first. Head back there, and we can see that the ox skull has opened. There's our third and final portal stabilizer. With that said, that's actually the first part of this whole puzzle completed. Let me see here. Let me go through this door. And right here, I want to place this Explorer Skull on here. Now, Salem, this is an Explorer Skull. We know for a fact that a lot of people have explored this submachine, and some of them did not make it.
Uh-huh.
Look carefully at the skull.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, embedded into their skulls. Need I say more? Now we're back.
Yeah, that's creepy.
We're back here, by the way, because with that neodymium magnet on the string, we can attract this. And grab ourselves the 5th microstabilizer. We're halfway there, by the way, because there are 10. Now, with 3 portal stabilizers and the portal stabilizer battery, we have finished the first part of this whole puzzle. Back here, we can place the stabilizers and the battery to activate our portal. Welcome back to the lighthouse. Now, this is where, unfortunately, I'm going to have to make this a luck game again, as I find another light spear to place here, of course. Because, I'll confess, I do not know where one of the pictures are to activate this. We have 3 symbols, which allow us to pick the symbols right here. Now here's the thing. I do not know where the last symbol location is, Salem. So unfortunately, because I don't have that, I'm gonna have to make this a luck game. And here's the thing. This thing is sensitive. Whatever's combination is up there, it activates whatever is at 111. Because if I go left, place actually avoided purposely. Yeah, some note here. Not only do we have one of these mechanisms, but we have this. Notice that this machine, this laser, looks very similar to the one back in the lighthouse. It is, isn't it? Basically, that combination, if we put the right combination, it will allow us to progress through. Unfortunately, because I did not find that last symbol, it kind of becomes a bit of a luck-based game. I don't know where that last symbol is. If you guys know, then all power to you guys. But for me, I'm just going to make this just a luck game by just clicking every single symbol and going back and forth before I get the correct, until I get the correct one. Funny thing, Salem, on my first attempt going through this, to re-record this, I actually had to go through all 4 symbols before I got the correct answer.
That's unlucky. Especially for you.
I need to do my research before I do my speed run 2 weeks later, so that at least I don't have to worry about that. Man, if it's the original stuff, I'll be kind of pissed. Come on. Gotta admit though, the fact that they have incorporated all the Submachine games back into this finale is pretty sick. And the music itself, of course, is so eerie and yet so nostalgic in certain places when you rehear some of this. Now, without...
Yeah, Mateus really is a genius.
Exactly. Now, right here, we got the power relay, and we did something very similar back in the lighthouse when we placed a power relay to allow us to get the ladder back up to that portal at the end of the game. So a lot of like ties to that as well. Right here though, I can hit the switch and head down here. Dear Elizabeth, I'm so close. You won't believe how much progress I've done in the last, how long was it? 3 years? 3.5? My lord, it feels good to be focused again. I know this sounds stupid, but as a time traveler, I have to say, it feels good to see time run by you. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. My theory of focused karma was correct. I have scientific evidence at my laboratory. Once it doesn't penetrate any 2 given layers creating a portal, it actually restores previously destroyed submolecular order. Now all I need is some kind of portable karma stabilizer and I'm good to go. Just imagine, stable and secure karmic portals. Would you believe that? M. Portable karma stabilizer, eh? Well, I wish we had those. This portal now all of a sudden takes us to this place, and if you think this is familiar, you would be right. You would have seen this screen back in, after you finished Submachine 1, the basement in this game.
Yeah, I knew I recognized these paintings.
You can't fix everything, just let it go. Submachine doesn't need your help, it's fine as it is. You know you're taking away my life's goal, right? We'll find you a new one, don't worry. You were part of this organism, I admit, a crucial one, but just a part nonetheless. You can't think of yourself any bit higher. That would be arrogant, and that's not you anymore. What will I do without you, my dear? So I guess so Elizabeth has changed Murtaugh's mind, but at least Murtaugh knows that Elizabeth is his way of getting back to his senses. Let's take the portal down, shall we? Or the lift down. Whoa! Welcome back to the basement. But hang on a second, there's something wrong with this basement. It looks a bit off color, doesn't it, Salem?
Yeah, it does.
It's very red.
And the music is different.
It's still basement-like, but it's different. It almost feels ungodly. This is what we like to call the infernal basement. Because it's red. Right here, I noticed I just turned that wheel. Very similar to Submachine 8, the plan when we were turning that wheel. Then you notice this. There are also a few switches along the way I've noticed that allows us to grab this. And notice that all these unlock levers, that'll be important. Right here though, I want to grab this stone weight. To reveal ourselves the fourth and final unlock lever, because you know how they say like to say in that meme, right? Let me out! Let me out! There we go, the proper basement. The spoon has no purpose. Why hasn't it shifted away? Always good to hear nostalgic themes. Anyways, I forgot to showcase some of these pictures. They look awesome, by the way. Now, another theory I have, by the way, you know how we have seen a lot of these lighthouse pictures?
Mm-hmm.
What if these were lighthouses of different inner portals, or inner layers, excuse me?
Huh, that would make a lot of sense.
The coin is long as animals etched on it. Why is it still here? Now you might be thinking to yourself, why is there a spoon here? Well, in the original Submachine 1, the basement, you would actually use a spoon to break the system to unlock this hatch. But of course, in this version, we don't actually use a spoon. It's actually one of the few irregularities with this game. There's no spoon, even though a spoon magically appears out of nowhere. But the funny thing about that, Salem, that spoon actually has a purpose. Secret number 6.
It makes a lot of sense.
Right here is another picture of the lighthouse I almost skipped over. I think I'm done with this location, so let me just exit out. Now, there were a lot of items I did pick up in the basement, and I'll just showcase real quick. I grabbed a light spear, 2 pearls, 4 stone cubes, and a valve. And of course that spoon that allowed us to get that secret. All these will prove important. Right here though, we can exit out, and hello! This looks familiar. We saw this mechanism back in some of the previous locations. First place I want to go back to is 100. For 2 reasons. Firstly, I want to head back to this portal. With this valve, I can finally turn this. And wherever you turn it, you see that it activates these. It's like some satellites that allow us to turn that. So that's our first satellite activated. We want to now hit this twice. in order to activate the other satellite. If we can find it, that is. If we all them turned on, that gives us our plasma coil. We'll note that for in due time. Now let's get out of here. If I can, that is. Jeez. As you mentioned, Salem, very luck-based. Especially if you're doing a speed run. Come on. There we go. That took a while, didn't it? Right here, though, that electrical fuse we collected back in the basement has a purpose. These things. We need the final 4. First one was right there. The second and third were both located here. I remember correctly, it should be in this door. Yep. And right here through the edge, we need to head back to the left. I believe it should be this pipe. That allows us to do that. And the final one, it's plain sight back in 111. There we go. There's the last one. Now, before I progress on, I just realized I forgot to do something back at 110. Because those 2 pearls actually serve purpose. Ta-da! Microstabilizer number 7. There was another one located around here. And believe it or not, it's back to where we started. Want to head back to the lighthouse. And there's secret number 8. Now, let me just think through something. Okay. I'm really just trying to remember where the last 2 secrets were. Now, let me see here. I have a plasma coil, explorer's chip. Oh, wait, hang on. With those 4 plasma vials I used, I finally have an empty karma stabilizer. We have the karma stabilizer, but how do we activate it? Well, let's head back to 110 and down here. Oh wait, no, not here. Sorry, that's the wrong location. Okay, all to say is right now though, as I think back to what we have done so far, I can say this. We are definitely on track to get all of the microstabilizers. That means all the secrets, at least. That's what I can confirm. Anyways, I actually want to head back to the digger area and head back to the lab. Because, remember how I prematurely placed a stand on it in the center? Well, it finally has some purpose. Status operational. Exploration teams and restoration staff only. Well, we're not one of those, but we do have a chip. Karma stabilizer not present. Karma stabilizer standing by. Karma stabilizer in full effect. Remember how there was a previous note how Murtaugh mentioned we just needed a karma stabilizer to be able to stabilize the submachine. Well, we now have that power, Salem.
Exciting.
You sound very excited. It's fine, don't worry. Now, with this karma stabilizer, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, how do we use it? Well, the first location I want to go back to is number 7, the core. Right here. You see this dot right here? That's shining here? Near the cursor? And notice that my carbon stabilizer is glowing. You're now putting the submachine back in order. At least this one. But how is it possible that she knew the submachine was sentient and reasoning? It's like the Lumiere brothers talking about retina cinema of the early 21st century. Don't forget, that's Elizabeth you're talking about, right? Right. Here's our second plasma coil. And now we can exit. So, remember back when we activated that switch to get out of the 8th layer, we hinted it possibly could be Elizabeth's doing? Yeah, that also might have been Elizabeth's doing. Next place I want to go back to is 110, so basically the research center. Not too sure if you can see a dot around here somewhere. Is there a dot? Well, I know something's floating. So we can restore back in order. And look what's down here, Salem.
9 out of 10.
Indeed, 9 out of 10. At least there's one left. Alright, let me just check through my items. Okay, we are in order. No pun intended. Now I just need to think about something. Try and remember if I did leave anything else. I don't think so. I think I should be good to go back to the start. Pretty sure. Right here. More restoration. And hello! Pile B. It's like as though we've come full circle, haven't we, Salem? It's the basement all over again.
Yep.
Next place I want to go to, actually, is back... Wait, actually, I think the faster option is actually going down here. Back to the lighthouse, and then through that portal we saw. Because there's another place we can restore. Whoa, techno. Alright, we're done here. Let's exit out. Pardon me, sorry. We're at 54 minutes. Honestly, that's good. 54 minutes is kind of what I wanted for just one video. As I said, for 2 hours was not what I wanted. So seeing that we're nearing an hour of just one recording and I'm almost done with the game is already a good sign. Now, with all that we grabbed thus far, we can finally complete this part. First things first though, I want to quickly put this battery in so I don't forget. Next thing I want to do is continue restoration. That's another block. Oh, wait, hang on. I did forget something. Well, firstly, though, I want to go back to the very beginning of the game, right here, and... Well, won't you look at that? The final micro-stabilizer. That's all 10. Now, here's the thing. I did forget another tile, and I think I have an inkling of where it might be. Right thing here. Let's see. Yeah, this one has already been restored. Again, it's all just memory work. Oh, I know where. I want to head back to 110, and remember that ship we placed here that allowed us to go to a ladder that almost led to nothing? Well, it actually leads to something once we have the carbon stabilizer. And there we go. That is the fourth and final tile. As I mentioned, it's a basement all over again. It comes full circle. Right here, though, now that we have all 4 tiles, I can actually finally do what I need to do here. This is the final part of the puzzle, if you're wondering, for those following. I want to head back down up here and down here. Crumbly parts of this staircase. Crumbly no more. Place the 4 tiles right here. And that activates this door. Two plasma cores placed down here to activate a ladder. I think you're ready to enter the submachine. You know more than enough and will probably find out more on your journey. Remember, this can destroy or transform you, but you will not return the same man. May the wisdom of Thoth guide you. Thank you, Holy Usher. I will not fail you. Don't fail yourself, my young disciple. Okay, so Submachine officially is a cult. Okay, no, it's not. It's just creepy, though, to see that message, isn't it? Wait, Submachine was already sentient that early? Of course. The mainframe of Submachine became conscious once its processing power surpassed that of the human brain. They asked the question, remember? And Shiva answered. Submachine was sentient for at least 32 days before that. Now I understand. Shiva is the brain. Submachine is the body. It's all so clear now. If this has resolved all that you know about the submachine, you're welcome. Right here, do not press this. Do not press this. This will transport you back to the loop in 100. You have to do this all over again. Instead, grab the ID card to the left and the plasma core on the right. This is the last part of the puzzle in the exit. Now we need to head back all the way out. And notice how we still have a light spear. And remember back to the hints. How did he skip the submachine? Through the lighthouse. Naturally. We have a light spear that will allow us to move one panel to our left and right. But we still need 2 more items to allow us to escape. And that's where these last 2 items we grabbed come to play. First off, we have a captain's ID card that will unlock this ladder. How will you know that they're coming? I'll keep my eye on the lighthouse. Once the lamp goes off, they'll be coming. But that lamp is behind steel curtains. Don't worry. I'll know once it's off. Right here, though, we grab ourselves a portable light crown. So we now have the light spear and the light crown, but we still need something to place that light crown in. So we're gonna head back all the way to 110 and the edge, because there was one particular spot that I purposely looked over. To the right of this portal lies this. We can place the fuse on the right side and grab ourselves the portable light crown converter. Portable light crown and portable light crown converter needed to use the light spear. That was a note that we saw earlier.
Clever foreshadowing.
Not only foreshadowing, those were hints. Now you may think of yourself, okay, Joel, you have all 10 secrets. You're about to exit the submachine. What about these 4 cubes? Don't worry, I'll reveal to you guys about them the next episode. With that said, all that's left to do now is head back to that door we saw earlier. Oh, wrong button, sorry. Exit out. Head to the right, and where that light and where that fuse we placed there was earlier. Converter, crown, light spear. Salem, we're out.
Congrats.
God, man, it feels good. I know it's the second time, but it still feels good to be out and finished. You have exited the lighthouse, but more importantly, you have escaped the submachine. Why there are 2 moons in the background, I'm not sure. Maybe this is just a totally different universe than the one that we're in. Also, guess who has been waiting all this time to escape? Yes, that is indeed Elizabeth the cat Einstein, and right there, with his karmic hand, full of karmic power that started the submachine, Murtok. How nice of them to wait for you to exit the submachine. And with that, that marks the end of the story of Submachine Legacy. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for playing Submachine Legacy, for finishing all main storyline chapters and staying around for as long as you did. For me, this journey lasted for over 18 years. I know that for some of you too. I salute you. Thank you again, and see you in the next chapter of the Submachine series, Submachine, the Engine. Matya Skutnik, 2023. For me, this journey has lasted a decade plus, probably about 12 years. I remember playing the first one, Submachine Zero Ancient Adventure, when I was young. Introduced by my brother, because my brother was the one who was interested in the Submachine series. Well, at least the first part. Then I got hooked, and I started playing the rest of the series. Little will I realize that I would be longing for this game to come out. And now that it's out, honestly, I'm just happy that it's finally here. I'm sure you too, Salem, are also happy that this game is finally here.
Yeah, I grew up on Flash games, so this is definitely nostalgic for me.
Same. With that said, whilst the story might be done, the adventure is far from over. Next time on Submachine Legacy, I'll take a look at all of the secrets I've yet to find in the main story, that is. Don't forget, by the way, about the giveaway. Put your times in the comments below on when do you think I'll finish the any percent speedrun of Submachine Legacy. Thank you guys so much for watching, but remember, the adrenaline rush is real. This is Liapnef121 signing out. I'll catch you guys next time on my next Let's Play. Peace.